On Wednesday at 8 a.m., Prince Harry's five-part docuseries Heart of Invictus began streaming on Netflix, and the Duke discussed his past pain. During his lengthy discussion of his post-traumatic stress disorder in his new Netflix docuseries, Heart of Invictus, Prince Harry made a veiled jab at the royal family. The Duke of Sussex launched yet another jab at his family back in the UK while chatting to an interviewer on the show that follows the contestants and organizers preparing for the 2020 Invictus Games at The Hague, which were postponed until spring 2022 owing to the COVID epidemic. As Meghan Markle makes an appearance on the show, Harry, who is also the executive producer of the docuseries, is seen engaging with the actors. The Duke of Sussex appears to take a shot at the royal family in a portion where he discusses post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, and trauma in combat zones, claiming that his trauma was never discussed. Look, I can only speak from my own experience, but after my tour of duty in Afghanistan in 2012 flying Apaches, something started to fall apart, he added. My return from Afghanistan served as the catalyst, but the material that surfaced dates back to when I was 12 years old in 1997. The anguish I had from losing my mother at such a young age, I was never conscious of. He continued by describing how he was never vocal about his emotions. Harry added, I didn't really talk about it, and I suppressed it like most other young people would have done. It was much talked about. I was bouncing off the walls as it all fizzled out, wondering what was happening and why I was feeling everything instead of being young. The hardest part for me was that nobody could actually help. I lacked the network, support system, and professional guidance to figure out what was really wrong with me. Unfortunately, like the majority of us, you probably wish you had dealt with some of these stuff earlier when you are lying on the floor in the fetal position and thinking about treatment. And I really want to fix that. The Duke of Sussex has spoken about his trauma before, though, so this is not a new occurrence. He spoke in greater detail when he sat down with Dr. Gabor Mata, a Hungarian-Canadian physician who specializes in trauma, addiction, stress, and childhood development. He had previously covered PTSD in his book, Spare. The Duke of Sussex discussed how he intends to raise his children differently, the support he has gotten from his wife, Meghan Markle, and his diagnosis of PTSD. According to Dr. Mata, the Duke may be struggling with ADD, PTSD, anxiety, and depression as a result of the trauma and suffering. Prince Harry has dedicated a lot of his time to promoting mental health awareness, particularly through his memoir. He explained to Dr. Mata that he sees the book as an act of service, in the hopes that it will encourage others to talk openly about mental health.